Hi, I thought I'd show you some of the flooding we have going on around here. This area right here that you're looking at is my pasture. And I could raise catfish in it. I'm going to walk out and see how deep I can go before, oh my gosh, I barely got in, guys, and look how far up it is. If I go any further, I can't go much further. I'll hit my pants. Yep. This is how far it is, and I'm only that far from the bank. Look at that. No telling how deep it is there in the middle. Let me get out of this. That's a lot of water. Anyway, it goes back this way, and I'll show you the rest of my property. My front yard's pretty good. I got a little lake right there. A lot of people, sorry, have really had a really bad time with the flooding. I mean, their basements are flooded. And unfortunately, for some people in Tremont, it's not considered a flood zone, so they didn't have flood insurance, and they got flooded. But anyway, I want to ask all of you could say a prayer for everybody out here, because there's a lot of property damage out here due to the flood. Anyway, here's some more of my ground. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I'm walking in this and look. Here's the other part of my back pasture. And then over here, you probably hear me squishing in all the water. Here, we got water all over here. I have a canal back here because I have water rights. So I'm gonna walk back here and see if it's flooded. Oh my gosh, look at the grass. It's molded. That's gonna kill all this. Yeah, you can see under the water where it's molded. Oh my gosh. I'm walking in a friggin' disaster. Oh, look here. Look at my boots here, how far they are under the water. And this is my backyard. See if we can get to the canal. Oh. Okay, yep. The canal's full of water. Before the rains, they empty this in the winter, but it's definitely full of water right now. And there's the field behind us. Oh my gosh. And as you can see, we got more rain coming. Okay. There's the back of my house. I'm kind of glad this happened, like I said, because I was going to put my goats over there in the pasture, but after seeing this, not going to happen. So, this is where we were going to put the garden. And I'm not even going to guess how much water is in it. And then over here is where I'm going to end up putting my goats, because of the fact that, sorry, my camera's jiggling, but I'm walking through muck and water and everything. We're going to put the goats over here in that very corner is where we're going to put their goat house. Because even though that's wet and muddy, it's not flooded. And with all the water we had, I'm really happy to see that. That tells me I have a safe place for them. I do have flooding here. Where we plan to put the chickens, we ended up getting a chicken coop that is up off the ground. So if we do get flooding again, sorry, that's my neighbor's dog, it won't affect the chickens. So their coop is 2 feet off the ground. It doesn't have to be that high, but there's like a little run under it. But anyway, that's where the chickens will go. And that's where my garden's going. Hopefully. But believe it or not, my area is good compared to a lot of people's area. We actually got off pretty lucky. I have a sup pump, which is keeping let's keep water out of the basement. But right at our back door, which I'm going to show you, there's a drain for water when it rains that goes into our leach field. Well, our leach field can't hold any more water. So the water is actually coming up through that drain. So we had to buy another pump to pump the water out where it's coming up out of the drain, because we went downstairs and where my basement's set up, half of it's finished and half of it's not. I got carpeting and all that in part of it, and then the other part we use as the laundry and pantry. It still has concrete floors, thank goodness, because we have that's where the water came in at. I have to do this lock. I live on a busy street and I don't want to take a chance of my dog getting run over. So, pick that back up. Anyway, this is our mess. We haven't got it all set up for summer because we got here in winter time. There's our sup pump. And then we have this little pump for down here, which I can tell, if you look close enough, it's starting to come up the drain again. So give me 1 second. I've got to plug in my pump. This is our little secondary pump we had to buy. But the water was going right through there. And like I said, luckily it's a concrete floor. Not too bad. It took that little bit of water up. I just want to be safe and make sure that my basement doesn't get flooded. But like I was saying, guys, say a prayer for the people around here, because some of them have gotten totally flooded out. I was in town the other day and went by the RV place, and they had big industrial pumps pumping out around the trailers. I mean, it was halfway up the wheels of the trailer. And of course there was a building there. See, look at the water I'm getting out. There was a building there that was no saving. I mean, the water was past basement level. It was coming into the front of the house. They're on lower ground than what we are. But I will let you go. I just wanted to show you what we're dealing with and continue to deal with right now. But anyway, please say a prayer for everybody, because there's a lot of people that are a lot worse off than we are. Pray that the rain stop and the flooding stop. Have a good evening, everybody. Well, as you see, we didn't get the rain like the clouds predicted earlier. Instead, we got snow. It just keeps getting better and better. Well, let's hope it stops soon, because we really can't afford any more flooding or anything like that. And the last thing we need is more melting snow. Well, have a good night, everybody.